So all the inputs are labeled. This is your mic, guest mic, aux 1. There's only one aux, which is this guy. It's always floating around here somewhere. CD player is locked up. It is CD. So, is that on? Turntable. Do you have any records?
No.
Okay. And then this one on the right is the most important one. That's computer to this computer. And then from this, it goes under here to preamps and then back up to the boxes. So this has to be on, this input, when you come in and when you leave.
So just looking for a red light right there?
Yeah,
okay.
And you'll see your level. This is the monitor button. This is monitor volume. This is, if you have headphones, this will run a headphone volume. And that jack is right in the front. We've got 2 different adapters. If you can't find it, they're usually in the mug.
Okay.
Let's see. Sometimes I use that, but usually I don't.
And that's to listen to what's playing on air?
That's to just take the monitor into headphones.
Okay.
And you'll hear yourself, so
okay.
That's kind of nice. Q volume, I never really use Q, but it would be if I'm playing something. Let's see if I can get it to work here. I never use this. But if I'm, say, queuing through here. Oops. How do I do this? Okay. So that's a way to... This is not going on air right now. This is going on air, but if you want to use Q, this is a good way to maybe cut off the intro of a track, get rid of that kind of thing.
Yeah, okay.
But I never really use it.
And then, so you put it on Q, but then how do you, like, transition it to on air?
Then you just flip your...
okay.
Your actual input buttons.
Okay. Which are the red ones, yeah.
Yeah. And...
Okay, so whatever's red is playing into the... is playing
that
on
is
air.
on inputs.
Okay.
Bottom button is on off. Q. These are ABs. You can technically have 2 inputs, but we don't have that running. This is a cough button for the mic. You can... This is just a super quick cough button, I guess. It just turns you off.
It mutes.
But
Okay.
That's... I don't really see any use for that. Level knobs. That's self-explanatory. You always... You're not really... You always... I guess mix up to this last row. That's where you want to be peaking, right here.
To be blinking there.
If you're in the yellow, that's almost always too much.
Yeah.
Sounds like crap. So this is like my workflow. I'll wait till the next monitor until the next song is over. Pause radio DJ. Do a little fade out to make it sound nice. Input off.
Okay.
You're listening to KTEQ FM Rapid City 91.3. Aux on, mic off, music.
Alright, okay. And can you do the audio and the aux at the same time, if you wanted to?
Both of these?
Or both of these?
No.
No? Okay.
Turning on the mic turns off the monitors. But you can talk over.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah. Okay.
And that's why sometimes it's nice to use headphones, because then you can hear your voice like mixed with the audio, so you know how loud you are.
Yeah, okay.
If you want it like in the background, and you don't want it, because it's hard to like guesstimate where the right music volume is that you'll come across. Sometimes it just sounds like...
Yeah. Okay. And it won't do that on the monitor. That's funny.
Right. You got nothing. This if we took the mic over those, it would like
Yeah, that would
go crazy.
yeah.
So I just played my first song of my show. This guy, the little feather, is the song logger. Your show will be on here. Refresh list if it's not. And I stated our legal ID at the top of the hour. So I'm gonna log that, and then I'm gonna log the song.
And is it recommended to do this in real time, or
Yeah.
I think once he's told me that I could log them all at the end or something, but that's not recommended.
You shouldn't, because it sends it out to any apps like TuneIn, or I think we're on the Apple whatever that's called. It'll send the song data that we put in to it, so it'll show you what's playing.
Okay.
On that thing.
Okay.
So try to keep that running and up to date. And regardless, even you'll forget. So I just know that I always do. PSAs and Dunkel did a really cool thing.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna be using these for now, because that's under our license, non-commercial educational. We have additional requirements for community engagement, and those will fill these. So read 2 of these per hour.
Per hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we'll put these in here under this PSA dropdown, and then you'll log that as well.
So all you have to do is click that button. You don't really have to say what it is.
Well,
Oh, there you go.
You'll do the drop down, and then you'll find they're not in there yet, so you can
Okay.
pick a random one. And then log which one you did. And then I think maybe we'll do one where you can type in what you know what I mean.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
We gotta get that. That's a coding thing. This will be floating around. You can do those wherever in the hour you want. You can do them both at the top, right next to your ID, or you can just throw them in.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm breaking the rules. I'm using Spotify right now. 'Cause
Okay.
It's easier to set up for a little
Yeah,
demonstration. But also easy and also legal is going. Oh, we're logged in here.
Like, are you just gonna rip it off YouTube or something?
Well, we have a YouTube Premium.
Oh.
It's under K-Tech DJs. If it ever gets logged out, it's no ads here
Okay.
with a 3 for the first E. And it's just ktechdjs@gmail.com, and we're paying for the premium YouTube thing. And low-key, YouTube has a lot more music than Spotify does.
Really?
Oh yeah,
I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
it's like they actually pay.
Yeah. And that's why it's legal, because we're paying for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And well, and it's a license thing. Technically, with Spotify, you only get a personal.
Yeah.
So you can't,
Okay.
You can't use that for restaurants
Yeah.
or like that kind of thing. But on here, what I'll do is I'll use my own YouTube account to do my playlist, and then I'll email myself the link,
Okay.
or I'll send the link to the ktechdjs at Gmail, and then you can open it up in here and play through it all without any ads or anything. Another thing you can do is
Oh yeah.
you can go in here and then you can mute tabs and let them go as you want. But I don't know, it's the convenience factor isn't worth it if we get knocked for letting the Spotify like play pause sound go over here.
Oh, shoot,
That's
okay.
how we get
Yeah.
nailed. So that's kind of a big deal, but
That's how they get you. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
What else?
Well,
So yeah.
Maybe-
again.
want to do a demo of like having a guest speaker.
Okay,
Like,
yeah.
Okay.
So I'll speed that up. So then I would, dismount, have this up, hit both of them. Yo, 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 what is going on? You're listening to KTEQ FM Rapid City 91.3. We're here doing a demo in this studio. Say hi.
Hello, hello.
The guest mic is a little bit touchy.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what's wrong with it, but
1, 2, 3, 1,
Yeah,
2,
there you go.
3.
and
Oh, you just
so-
got to get real close.
Yeah, when you're talking, it comes across if your levels are a little bit quieter. So, and
And just watch this. Yeah.
they're very distance controlled, you know, so I'm speaking in the same tone of voice, but so,
Mhm.
you know, you either want to be up here like doing your NPR voice or like back here being like, hello everybody.
All right.
But yeah, so we're gonna back to the music here, and we got some new DJs coming for you. Goodbye. But
All right, and
let's
so
see.
this one, main mic. This one,
main guest.
guest. Okay.
The guest one says guest. This
Oh,
one
it does.
says
Oh, okay, sick.
and C. So I don't know what that is.
All right.
but,
Okay.
I usually just make sure you log everything.
I was- Is there anything else you had to log? I feel like. Like on
legal
the-
ID, if you ever forget it, it's right there.
Oh yeah.
You can't put anything in the middle of that. That has to be said uninterrupted. But you can say be goofy before and after.
Yeah.
But
Alright.
that's legal. You have to say that exactly.
Just the KTEQ
Every hour.
FM Rapid City.
Yep.
Okay.
There's some resources on here. Sometimes we might, if you're having trouble with the stream, we might ask you to check out AltaCast or IceCast. IceCast is always minimized down here. It's this little like igloo thing.
Mhm.
This actually runs the stream. You can see
Oh,
how many
that's right,
listeners
yeah.
you have on each quality stream. Click on it, and then listeners. So,
Mhm.
this is AltaCast. This is a M3U encoder. This minimizes to the little satellite down here.
Mhm.
It comes back up with a right click. All you'll ever need to know is the transfer rate with actual numbers means it's connected to
Okay.
IceCast. If it ever says connecting and it's like cycling, something's wrong.
Is that like a hardware problem usually? Like the.
No, that's this.
Okay.
This is always comes down to software.
Oh, alright.
You'll break things if you forget that AltaCast goes down here and not over here, and you try to open a new one. If there's two of them running,
Okay.
it'll break it and it'll go off air.
Alright.
Um,
Is it fixed by just closing one?
yeah, you close one.
Okay.
And then if both of those are correct and it's still not working, you need to close out of both and then right click on each and run as administrator. Because if you don't, these are technically over on the server over there, and if you don't run as administrator, it won't be able to access the config file.
Okay.
So, this should always be green. If it's never not, just hit start server,
Mhm.
and then it'll reset. Just do us a massive solid and don't mess with Radio DJ too much.
Yeah.
This runs the automated stuff. Pretty much all you need is the play pause button up here.
Mhm.
I wouldn't mess with any of these. What you can do is if you have a long show, every hour it throws in PSAs and the identifier, and those are the green ones. And if you have a long show, it'll like
Will it interrupt
it'll
your?
fill it with just when you start it back up, it'll play
Oh,
like
okay.
10 minutes of
Oh
just
shoot.
items
Okay,
and
all
stuff,
right.
and I don't
Yeah,
know how
yeah.
to fix that yet. So you can just go in here and just get rid of those, the green ones, until you'll see down here if it's a PSA or if it's a identifier.
Mhm.
Get rid of it. Do your own PSAs or identifiers, or leave one identifier and 2 PSAs for it to do.
Okay.
But usually clear those out so you don't, play a bunch of them.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, the music handles itself. You'll only see a couple at a time because it chooses as it goes, so don't worry about that. If you come in here and this is blank and nothing's running and there's no music, that's something that you would let us know about.
Okay. Like, just don't mess with it kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Because it's like, the domain is literally radiodj.ru. Like, it's some Russian guy who just does it all himself.
Nice,
so
nice.
It's kind of weird and it breaks a lot. So, yeah. This is virtual DJ. You can use this.
Oh, nice. This is what I was going to ask about, actually.
Yeah. I don't personally have a lot of use for it. Just because I'm just playing music and talking and I run stuff on there. But you can, get into our music directory and you can kind of search around and there's all kinds of stuff in there.
Can you only use MP3s on here? Like, there's no way to...
No, it'll do MP3, OGG files. It'll do a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but it's only like files you download.
What do you mean?
Like, if I had stuff I wanted to play from YouTube.
You have the file for this.
Yeah.
So I guess
is that a bit sketchy?
You could use like a YouTube RIP website. Then you could use that.
Is that okay? Like,
that's your crime.
Okay. All right. I didn't ask. You don't know anything.
Because we pay for play.
Yeah.
On the radio.
All right.
So, as far as the station is concerned, it doesn't really matter where we get the music from.
Yeah.
It's how we play it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, but I would personally suggest against doing too much of that.
Yeah.
Just because that's how you're gonna get in trouble if you download like gigabytes of stuff.
Yeah. All right.
But especially on like the school network, like, you might.
Okay, so VPN.
You might get fucked. Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of it. These are all recorded PSAs that you can use down here. What else do we got? Yeah, I think that's about it. When you're done with the show, just hit play, make sure it's going, and then you're good.
Do you have to like unplug your computer and everything for it to start playing over this? No? Okay.
No, this is its own thing and it just runs into the board.
Okay.
It's all audio, there's no talking.
Yeah.
Just make sure you actually use your show on here so we know who's in here. That's about it.
Cool.
There's not a lot. You shouldn't really have to mess with any of the hardware.
Is there anything to like make sure once you leave? Like,
once we get... Somebody stole our overhead lights, but always turn the lights off when you leave.
All right.
These two can stay on. Doesn't really matter too much. I guess maybe the only other thing, sometimes you'll hear the blue thing go off.
Mm-hmm.
Don't necessarily like stop talking, but it does interrupt the FM. It goes out over the radio. If that's the National Weather Service has.
Right.
And it doesn't go over the stream. It only goes over the radio. So keep doing your thing, but then you'll hear it. It'll come out. It'll as it's going, so you'll know where it is, and then you like talk about it once it's over.
Yeah.
But that happens sometimes. Other than that, the gray one with the meters, don't touch that. That's a compressor, and it's always set wrong for some reason.
Fair enough.
You put a grill over it, but that's the guest monitor. If you bring people over here, turn off monitors when you leave.
All right.
Because they'll burn in.
Okay.
So turn them off. Because the last one we had like a shadow of Radio DJ on it.
Oh shoot.
But that one just turns on and see your screen. Yeah. Careful with the power strip. Like everything is plugged into that. But you gotta plug your computer in. We have another one over here. This is if you have drinks, they're only over here. And yeah, keep it clean.
Yep. No food, right?
No, you can have food.
Oh, okay.
Just keep it clean.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I don't care what happens. As long as, you know, one time somebody spilled a bag of beans in here and just left it.
Yeah.
So,
Like
pinto
cooked?
beans, dried pinto beans.
Dried pinto beans.
And then left
That's
the
a tough
bag,
day.
too. It's like a huge 10-pound thing. It was weird. The phone doesn't work, so don't try to use it until we get that fixed. That's about all I got.
Cool.
And I'll show you once this finishes.
Oh yeah, just end it out.
See,
Yeah, what happened to the CD thing? It's still just dead.
It's swallowed one, and we can't. And that's like a really expensive CD player, so I'm nervous about.
Yeah, trying to mess with it. It's tough.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe at some point we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I was going through a phase last year trying to listen to a bunch of them. I found a few gems.
Yeah, there are
in
some.
the stacks. Yeah.
There's some good ones in some places. You're listening to KTEQ FM Rapid City 91.3. See, that's shitty. I should have. That's to skip the end of that. Whatever.
Oh.
But you got to be careful because this has a really quick cutoff.
Oh yeah.
And it'll almost like blend the songs before you get a chance to pause if you try to hit it right at the end.
Okay.
So that's kind of annoying sometimes, but yeah. And then get rid of your inputs. I always leave these on so people don't come in here and start talking and then realize like 10 minutes later that they're not even.
Oh yeah. The dial should usually be at.
Yeah. If you're using your computer, I always mess this up, but you can go down here, right click, and do volume mixer, and you always have system sounds all the way down or muted. Because it really sucks when you play like a Windows notification sound.
Yeah. Right.
Like, but yeah, that's about everything you're gonna do.
Cool.
Profanity is something to be very careful about. Technically never, but use your best judgment, and we're trying to clean it up a little bit. So
yeah.
Almost never a fuck. Sometimes a shit. Bitches are.
It's a controversial one.
Not really.
Yeah.
Those are the obvious ones though that you can almost never play unless it's like buried in the mix and you'd only know if you looked up the lyrics.
Yeah.
Maybe that's okay. But if you can hear it clearly, just don't. References to drug use, like explicit references to explicit drug use.
Okay.
That's very much a no-go. But there's usually censored versions for everything.
Yeah, that's true.
Kind of get you around it.
Especially on YouTube.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why I like it. Because like.
That was tough. I remember trying to use the cough button.
No, it sounds like
it never
I'm not gonna
worked.
tell people to do that anymore because it's just trash.
Yeah.
If you do have MP3s though, you can use Virtual DJ is a free program, and it's hard to do on here because the only output for this computer is the monitor is the radios. So, but you can download Virtual DJ and you can actually do your own censoring really easily.
Okay.
It's all right. It's just the little reverse that like top 40 stations do, but it sounds better than just cutting off.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
Political statements, technically have to go in the public file, but unless they're super crazy, we don't care about that. If you're curious, that 2-page thing up there, that is kind of a humorous explanation of what free speech in media is.
Nice.
It's actually a little useful sometimes, but...
Cool. Well, good lesson.
Yeah, I think that's kind of everything. Do you have any questions?
Don't think so. I'm gonna end this.